Taupo. 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 Yeah, so we left last Sunday. Do lose 2 days coming over here, so landed on Tuesday. We flew Air Canada from Portland to Vancouver, BC to Auckland. Super smooth trip. We got upgraded, thank you so much to Air Canada for that, and just made us land and feel like we hadn't even done a big travel. One of our contacts at Air Canada kept track of our bags the whole time, so those arrived, no problem. And yeah, it was really like a very drama-free trip.
Keep left.
Thank you.
It was really that simple, or I think sometimes entrepreneurs.
We landed, got our rental car, and then drove 3 hours to Taupo. And we were expecting that would be really challenging after the long haul flight, but we both felt good, and it was yeah, far away, but we were ready for it, and everything was going smooth.
Okay.
Well, the first day we got in, we arrived in the evening, and we did a run, we went grocery shopping, we got everything settled so that we were ready to hit the next day, which was Wednesday, with a swim, a bike, and a run, and we kind of had our bearings already.
Look at that.
So we rode the course in the morning. We got up really early to ride it, thinking it would be quieter. Unfortunately, the course was quite busy. A lot of it was on main highways or busy roads with trucks, and not big shoulders here. The roads are kind of narrow without a lot of room for a bike lane. Sometimes the bike lane will just disappear, and there's seriously huge trucks on these little roads. So I was quite scared of the riding. However, I knew on race day the course would be closed, so amazing course when there's no traffic on it, but a little bit dangerous to ride pre-race. So we found kind of a quieter out and back stretch, and just did that a couple times to make sure the bike was working, do a couple efforts, and then the bike course was a one loop course, which I really like, and is kind of more typical of 70.3 racing. The roads were chip seal, so there's a lot of talk about that. It's just slower, you're putting in X number of watts and you're just not going as fast as you might be used to. It was rolling, nothing crazy hilly. I did put a 2x on the front just because there were some kind of punchier climbs at the start, and I didn't want to have to be maxing out my small gears to get up it. So I'm glad we did that, and the things that made it challenging were the road surface and the wind.
Oh, that was rough, but now we got an Ironman cookie, so it's all better.
Yeah, you probably won't put this out before the race, but
Nope.
you should not be riding on those. No one should ride on those roads.
There's a chance. I could do a midweek thing maybe, except it's already midweek.
Here, take a picture of me with the cookie. That day also did a swim in the lake. We actually didn't swim in the pool a single time while we were there, because the lake was so beautiful and it was right across the street from us. So yeah, it was logistically extremely easy. Didn't have to use the car at all. And yeah, the training was straightforward. The nice thing about racing everyone all year, this is like the 10th or 11th race I've done this year, and it's mostly the same people. So I'm friends with them. Jackie was there. I met Alice Alberts. She's really cool. Imogen was staying at the same hotel as us. So we all met up and did a 2 and a bit K swim right across the street. And it's fun. It's just like not training alone during race week, I think is good for me. It keeps things light and not just thinking about like how I feel necessarily. It makes it a lot more fun. So yeah, insanely beautiful lake, like perfect temperature, super clear. Conditions were like different every single day. Some days it was flat, some days it was choppy. So it was probably one of my favorite parts of the week was the swimming. Up on Thursday and it was raining and wet and did a run that morning. Actually, after experiencing race week where the hot days with the sun was so intense and we were like burning to a crisp, that rainy day was actually like very nice because that was the day we did the meeting and checked in and we were like out and about that day. So having the overcast and the rain was actually amazing.
Nice. We're good.
Just gonna go 5 out, 5 back.
Okay.
So check-in day was 2 days out, and kind of one of the things about racing so much this year is that I felt less nervous. Everything was a bit second nature. I just like, all my stuff is set up. I know everything was working. It was very relaxed compared to normal for me. Did breakfast with Bob, did the race meeting, and did check-in, got all our stuff. And being back at an Ironman race, like I haven't been to a 70.3 since June in Tremblant, and it just reminded me how awesome it is to like interact with the age groupers and have people see Eric and I and want a picture and like say hi to us. So that was super fun, and I personally don't find it draining or anything to chat with people that are there who watch us online and you listen to podcasts. I think it's really cool. So that was kind of like a nice bonus of that day, was just like kind of being amongst all the age group athletes too.
This is Eric's camera, by the way. So
That's Eric's
yeah,
camera.
yeah.
Thank you.
The helmet.
Thanks for doing that.
No worries.
Good luck tomorrow. I could take it, hey?
Yeah. All right.
I can just talk to it. But you guys will watch them, right? If they blow over.
Correct. And then your timing clip is going to be right up there.
I don't know, like the night before the race, I tried to go to bed at like 8 p.m. mostly just to make it come quicker. Like I didn't want to sit there dreading and stewing in it all night, so I went to bed early. These birds are loud. These kiwi birds are loud. Yeah, I was like, of course, nervous the night before, but there's nothing I could do. It was like everything was ready to go, and was kind of excited to get it over with. Not to get it over with, but to like have it be done, and then it was the last race of the year. So on race morning, woke up at 4, ate breakfast, normal thing, walked down, got my bike ready, and then It was about 1 kilometer to the race start because it was a point-to-point swim. So walked there with some friends, and there was a super cool Kiwi traditional like welcome dance music thing going on before the race. National anthem, everything just happened really quickly, and we started the race. It was choppy water, but the temperature was good. It wasn't crazy windy, and yeah, felt like relieved, I guess, when it finally got underway.
Number 4, Olympian representing Canada, Paula Findlay. She won her silver medalist in the 2022 Ironman 17.3 World Championship and finished in 5th place last year. She is also a multiple Ironman 70.3 champion.
Yeah, I had a really bad swim. I would say that was probably one of my worst swims of the year. It was really hard to see. It was hard to see for everybody, but we were basically swimming the whole way into the sun, and I looked up and just could see, like, it felt like everyone in front of me. It felt like I was in last place. I don't know, I've done enough of these races to know that the swim doesn't define my race, and I have a good bike, so I know I can catch up, but it's obviously not the best case scenario for me to have to burn a bunch of matches at the beginning of the bike to make my way to the front of the race. And I've had way better swims this year where I'm out like ahead or with those people that were right in front of me, so oh well. Yeah, so I probably by about 20K I got to the front of the race. Well, Nib was way in front, but I was with Kat, I was with Imogen, I was with Ashley, like the main people I wanted to be around. And there was like a 6 or 7 minute pretty steep climb, and that's where I passed a bunch of people, got to the front of the race, and I was like with Kat, with Imogen, and at the crest of that hill, they kind of put a surge in going down the hill. And at that point, I had like worked so hard to get to the front that I was a little bit too gassed to react to that move. And it's the one defining point in this entire race where that costed me positions for sure. Because if I could have gotten with Kat and Imogen and ridden with them, they, by the end of the bike, had like 3 or 4 minutes on the chase pack, which I ended up being in. So super disappointed in that, and that's probably the thing I'm most mad at myself for this whole race, is that I didn't go with them. And it's hard to like say that after the fact, because of course I was trying to, but it was a very critical moment. I don't think I realized how critical it was at the time. I thought, oh, I'll catch them in a minute or like at the next hill or something, but once they were gone, and Race Ranger makes it so hard for me after that point to put a gap on anyone else because it was pretty flat after that point, and everyone's sitting right at 12 meters and there's motorcycles beside. So at that point the race was kind of like strung out, and yeah, that sucked a lot. People started coming around me after like 50K, so I lapped my watch and I dropped 60 watts being in the pack. The refs were giving out penalties to people, so I just made sure I was like out of the lights, but I was like, I'd pedal, then have to coast once the lights came on. Like Race Ranger dynamics are so new and crazy to me in a pack format like that, and I knew we were bleeding time to the front, but it's either you sit at the front of the chase pack and ride 250 watts and everyone's behind you, or you sit in the middle of it and go almost the same speed. So I don't know, it was an extremely frustrating bike ride. I felt okay actually as I was running out. Saw all these people around me that I hadn't seen for the entire bike ride, but suddenly they were there because they'd been sitting behind, and got into 6th basically and like stayed there for the entire race. And there were some dynamics of people like catching and slowing and whatever behind me, but ultimately I was never running with anyone at any point. It's like as soon as the run started, my position was kind of decided, and I had to go super deep to just keep that position because it would have been really easy for me to mentally give up and have people run up to me, but I felt fine and I was like kind of negative splitting it, like I felt better as the race went on. So yeah, I tried really hard to finish 6th, but had the race played out differently on the bike, I could have run that run split and finished a few spots higher. So I don't know, it was what it was, but I felt fine running.
You're good. You're dialed. You look great. To who?
Anyone.
You're running faster than anybody behind you.
Yeah, the entire 10K loop had people lining the course, really fun run course. I loved it. Hilly coming back, flat going out, and so much crowd support, people yelling my name, and that definitely helped a lot. Like really good vibes for the entire way around the course, so that was fun. Yeah, so the season is finally over. We're still in New Zealand, but we fly home this afternoon. It's kind of crazy that it's Christmas in like 10 days. It does not feel like it here at all. But it's been a long year, obviously, and yeah, I'm excited for the little break. I still love like swim, bike, and running, so I think for the next like 2 weeks or a month or however long it is, I'll still exercise, but not like a training schedule. And we have some exciting stuff going on in our lives that we can like kind of take care of and put more focus on. So yeah, it's going to be fun. I haven't thought a ton about next year and what I'm going to do, but well, I have thought a ton about it, but I haven't decided yet. So there's a lot of opportunities with the T100 and with Ironman Pro Series, and just trying to decide what excites me for next year, because I race best when it's like races I want to do, races I'm excited for, races that motivate me to train well, obviously. And so yeah, just trying to decide what that will look like for 2025. But there's a lot of good options, so it'll be fun to like think through it all.